E aí, gente? If you're new here, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. Eu te amo. As you can see, I'll be reacting to My Hero Academia for the first time. And I know I am a little bit late to My Hero.
A little bit late.
In my defense, my brain has this issue that if I have a fixation, it will be only that fixation for years. For me, it was One Piece, as you can probably see, and I feel the fixation slowly dying out, so let's hope my hero can feed my brain in the meantime. The only thing I know of My Hero Academia is that the fan base is awful according to TikTok and Twitter, but everything is awful according to TikTok and Twitter. The second thing that I know about My Hero Academia is that there's a particular ship that everybody hates. I don't care. I don't care about any of that. So, whether you are watching for the first time as well, or if you're already caught up and you enjoy seeing other people's reaction to something that you love, which I can relate, thank you so much for joining me in this journey, and let's get into My Hero Academia. The sneakers.
無個性のくせにヒーロー気取りかでっけ
人は生まれながらに平等じゃない。
I thought it was gonna get dark for a second.
発光する赤子が生まれたというニュースだった。以降、世界総人口の約8割が何らかの得意体質である超人社会となった。
I like the art style. It really is goofy. In a good way. It's simple. It's not kind of, it is simple. But the song...
追い詰められて暴れてんだと、あの個性でひったくりって。
Seriously. Wow. The song, it's what's getting me. Woo!
まさに邪悪の根源よ。
That's a big ass woman.
以後おみしりおきよ
彼らは活躍に応じて与えられるんだ。国から収入を、人々から名声を。
The secondhand embarrassment would be enough for me to become a villain.
自在か、それか。
おいおい、メモってヒーロー志望かよ。
So Midoriya is dedicated. Regardless. Even if he doesn't have powers because he doesn't have a quirk.
時期だ。今から進路希望のプリントを配るが。
I think that the civilization is far enough in technology that he could have a suit.
ヒーロー科志望だよね。
Like Iron Man.
いい個性だ。
What the hell?
原則禁止な。
先生、俺はこんな没個性どもと仲良く底辺なんざいかねえや。
ああ、確か爆豪は遊泳校だったな。
Is Yue the sky high of this?
あのオールマイトをも超えて、俺はトップヒーローとなり、必ずや高額納税者ランキングに名を刻むのだ。
緑谷も遊泳志望だったな。
緑谷無理っしょ。勉強できるだけじゃヒーロー科入らねえんだぞ。こらデク、没個性どころか無個性のてめえが。
Teacher, hello?
それにやってみないとわかんないし。
何がやってみないとだ。記念事件か。てめえが何をやれるんだ。無個性のくせによ。
How is anybody in this class qualified to be a hero?
強盗だ。
背持て余してるやつなんていくらでもいるし。
キリねえな。
キリはある。なぜって。私が来た。
I still can't get over the bullying going on as if how do you want to be a hero and you bully people? And the fact that the teacher let that shit happen, like
早く帰ってノートにまとめなきゃ。
he's dedicated.
一線級のトップヒーローは大抵学生時から逸話を残してる。この平凡な私立中学から初めて唯一の有名進学者っつう箔をつけてえのさ。まあ完璧主義なわけよ。
耳っち。
He really is.
つうわけで一応さ、遊泳受けるなな。
That's basically him admitting that Midoriya is smart enough to get into the sky high.
そんなにヒーローにつきてんなら効率いい方法あるぜ。来世は個性が宿ると信じて屋上からのワンチャンダイブ。何？
バカ野郎。本当に僕が飛んだら強者だぞ。考えて物言え。餌じゃないよ。
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying to understand the logic in this society in general. 80% is a lot, yeah, but like 20%. I feel like that's still, if you get like 7 billion people in the world, it's gonna be a lot of people that don't have powers. And even if you have powers, like some dude looked like a sign made of wood, and another one had his eyes out.
How's that useful?
On one hand, it's like I don't get it, how is it allowed? But on the other hand, I don't know if it's gonna be dark enough to even address that. In the sense that like you're the one that makes villains then. You make capitalism be the driving force behind the hero, because if you're not like strong enough and you don't get like enough renown, you don't get paid by the government. You ostracize kids that don't have quirks to the point that you're telling them to jump off roofs. That would create villains. And the person telling them to do that is a villain. It would be kind of interesting if Katsuki unconsciously became a villain and then Midoriya was the one that would bring him to light. And that's me making a prediction, I guess, but it would be cool.
またもうイズクだけで再生数1万は増やしてるわね。
もう大丈夫。なぜって？私が来た。
超かっこいいな。僕も個性入れたらこんな風になりたいな。
諦めた方がいいね。
With him in a room?
この世代じゃ珍しい。何の個性も持ってない方だよ。
Bro, break the information down to kid more gently.
お母さん、どんな困ってる人でも笑顔で助けちゃうんだよ。超かっこいいヒーローさ。僕もなれるかな。ごめんね、イズク。
Don't show me the mom. I can't.
違うんだ違うんだお母さん。あの時僕が言ってほしかったのは
Right? Like she didn't even say like you can do it.
あん時決めたじゃないか。そうさ、周りの言うことなんて気にするな。グイッと上見て突き進め。
Because the mom's gonna feel guilt too, like.
大丈夫。体を乗っ取るだ けさ。45秒さらに楽になるさ。まさかあんなのがこの町に来てるなんて思わなかった。
What? What's that?
私が来た。テキサス
If I had any doubt that he's an American hero, Texas smash. I really thought for a second that like he would try to take over Midoriya, like some Itadori Yuji situation.
あ、無事詰められた。
ナンバーワンヒーローオールマイト本物だ。サインどこかあのノートにしてやる。わあ、はい、ありがとうございます。家宝に家の宝に。
オーケー。
そんなもう
プロは常に敵か時間との戦いさ。
まだ聞きたいことが。
こら話しなさい。熱狂が過ぎるぞ。よ、確かに。シット。
個性がなくてもヒーローはできますか。個性のない人間でもあなたみたいになれますか。
Wow!
オールマイトとの出会いが、この奇跡が僕の運命を大きく変えることになるなんて、この時はまだ想像さえしていなかったんだ。
I'm gonna assume that All Might's gonna train him since it's My Hero Academia. Midoriya has like everything to become a villain if he wants to. I like the art style. I like how different it is. Occasionally, I burst out because the soundtrack. It's really intense. Like usually, anime does have like intense soundtracks, but I feel like this one really upped how emotional or like how not upbeat but like energetic it has to be during the battles. So I like that. I'm liking Midoriya so far. I like how he is very self-sacrificing, and that's not a good thing. I can't wait to see how that translates if All Might decides to train him as a hero, or if he denies him the blessing, I suppose, of becoming a hero, and maybe he'll be like, fuck you, I can do it, you know. I'll keep the commentary on the first episode short since I don't have a lot of material to go over, but there are a couple of things in terms of how people gain their powers and what the villain said that I wonder if there's something underlying how people get their powers, and if it's really a good thing, or if like being quirkless has something to it that may be a weakness to people that have quirks, because the way that the villain said, oh, I didn't know that was in here. Maybe it was All Might, but who knows. If I'm frowning a lot, I'm sorry. It's just that when I'm paying attention, I tend to frown a little bit, but it's not that I'm not enjoying it, because I am. Let's get to the second episode, shall we? The way that whoever is the author draws the eyes to be very big, and the shape of it reminds me of a Brazilian artist. And if you're Brazilian, you're probably gonna get mad at me, but
ホーリーシットだったチクショー。
ずっとバカにされてきて、だからかわかんないけど、あなたみたいな最高のヒーローに僕も。
緑谷とは幼馴染なんじゃねえの？
さすがに今日のはやりすぎ。
俺の道にいたのが悪い。ガキのまま夢見心地のバカよ。見てて腹が立つ。あ？バレたら俺の内心に響くだろうが。
I'm trying to understand this kid.
おいおい。
個性のカーブレビラー。私はオールマイトス。
嘘だ！オールマイトは恐れ知らずで、いつも笑顔で助けてくれる最高の。
He still does that, baby.
5年前、敵の襲撃で負った傷だ。天敵。度重なる手術と後遺症で憔悴してしまってね。
You lost your whole stomach? How?
5年前って毒々チェン。
これは世間に公表されていない。公表しないでくれと私が頼んだ。人々を笑顔で救い出す。平和の象徴は決して悪に屈してはいけないんだ。プロはいつだって命がけだよ。力がなくとも成り立つとはとてもじゃないが口にできないね。だが相応の現実も見なくてはな、少年。さて早くこいつを。力がなくとも成り立つとはとてもじゃないが。
What about technology? Make an armor. And I feel like Izuku is, if he's taking notes, he's knowledgeable enough to put like stuff in a suit that's gonna tackle the villains that he knows about. What are you see? Like, what are they gonna do? Throw the water in a sewage. I love the chants in the song.
時だ。活動時間ばかりに気を取られた。情けない。
Bro, you got a condition. Calm down.
的に将来を考えていく時期だ。
泣くな。分かってたろ。現実さ。
中学生が捕まってんだとはもうずっとあのままさ。
捕まって。
Wait, so they're in high school?
情けない。
頑張って。ごめんなさい。
You both got issues. You said what I mean? If he had a suit or something, he could do it.
君が助けを求める顔してた。
プロはいつだって命がけ。オールライター。デトロイト。
すごいタフネスだ。それにその構成。プロになったらぜひうちの事務所に来てくれ。君なら優秀なサイドキックになれる。
There's no way.
You're mad at the fact he tried to save you.
なあ、一人でやれたんだ。無個性の出来損ないが見下すんじゃねえぞ。おい、うろうってか。見下すなよ、俺を。その後が。
タフネス。
He's like a chihuahua.
You know what?
I think that Katsuki is mad at the fact that he's a hero.
トップヒーローは学生時から逸話を残している。彼らの多くが話をこう結ぶ。考えるより先に体が動いていたと。
See? It comes to him naturally. That's why Katsuki is mad at him.
母の言葉を思い出していた。
What is this song? Oh.
君もそうだったんだろう。
違うんだお母さん。言ってほしかった言葉は。
君はヒーローになれる。
Vindication!
夢は現実に。言い忘れてたけど、これは僕が最高のヒーローになるまでの物語だ。
Oh, so it's okay. It's set in stone. I mean, I like it so far. I like how, like I said, there's this concerning level of self-sacrifice that Midoriya and also All Might have. Now that he's probably gonna train him because this is shonen, so he's definitely gonna help him. I don't know where that's gonna take them. The way that All Might was talking kind of reminded me of people who have like chronic conditions. My sister has a chronic condition, and the way that she used to talk about herself, and she'll still talk about herself sometimes, is like scolding herself for not being able to do like day-to-day activities that she used to do it at ease before. And in a society that everybody has a quirk, and you're essentially like, if you're like All Might, you're put in the pedestal, and then you have to fit the role that was imposed on you for them to like call themselves pathetic, even though you literally lost your stomach and parts of your lungs, I think. I guess I'm curious how they're gonna tackle like the level of destruction in the body, but also in the mind, because I think someone is bound to go insane depending on their situation, you know? I guess it would be interesting if maybe a villain has that, let's say, resentment that I had to sacrifice everything about myself. I was curious about if the way that that villain said something being in the city, I guess it was just All Might. I thought that maybe it had something to do with the fight that All Might had, and he didn't want it televised. Like there's something brewing with the villains, possibly, but I think that's too early, I suppose, to introduce something like that, since we still have to see Izuku training and getting into Sky High. I don't know about Katsuki. I was like wondering, are you like an aggressive tsundere that like you can't admit that you care about Izuku, and that maybe, that's just some toxic way that you express your concern for him? I don't think that's it anymore. I hope they keep Midoriya quirkless. It would still be powerful. Like, he would be the first quirkless hero. And we are shown that he doesn't need a quirk to be a hero. He has an innate caring personality. He is great at gathering information. So if he were to become an inventor of sorts, he would be able to create perhaps one suit or multiple suits for each major villain. Maybe one suit for like small time villains, I don't know. And he understands what it means to be a hero more than anybody else. So he can potentially make people like Katsuki, hopefully, understand that to a deeper level and actually apply to their jobs once kids like Katsuki become heroes or kids that are like Katsuki are already heroes. And he was the underdog enough that he can talk to people who are on the verge of becoming villains or are already villains for reasons similar to his own. Whether it be because they are quirkless, because I think there has to be a quirkless villain. There has to be. I'm gonna make that prediction. I was talking throughout the entire video, but I think I need to repeat it because it's really good. Like, the animation may be simple, but I think that the music, it's bringing this to life. A quick recap of everything that I like so far. I like the world building. I like the capitalist outlook and what it means to be a hero and how they have to bust their ass to actually get paid by the government. And I really hope that they show how that can, I don't know, ruin a person, I suppose. I like the introduction of the tension between Izuku and Katsuki, and I can already see that that's gonna be probably something long lasting in the series. Can't wait to see what they do to that. If Katsuki will become a villain, if Katsuki will try to follow Izuku's steps, and just how far can Izuku really take of Katsuki's bullying, how that's gonna affect him if they end up going to UA together. I like the commentary of All Might and how it can relate to people who have chronic conditions, how, you know, they are doing sometimes insurmountable tasks and they still feel inadequate with themselves while they are struggling because society doesn't reward people when they have disabilities, right? If you can't do labor for me, then you're not rewarded. So I like that they, maybe it's not the intention, but I like that they kind of did that with getting paid by the government and simultaneously you are put in a pedestal by the people around you based on what you can do for them, and coincide that with you having a chronic condition and being forced on this continuous labor that it is rewarding, but it is essentially bringing you pain. So I really like that. And it's crazy that they managed to like cram that in 2 episodes. And finally, I am loving Izuku as a protagonist. He is easy to like. He is soft spoken, but somehow still energetic. And I can already tell that because he is such a caring and passive, I don't want to say passive, but he's not really like Katsuki, for example. Like, he's not looking for constant trouble, but I like the potential for the obstacles. I really like how characters who have these traits will go through very, very sad things.
That makes me sound like a bad person.
But I I like angst, okay? So I can already tell that he's going to go through absolute hell. I mean, if you like One Piece, my favorite character is Trafalgar Law. Okay? Man cannot catch a break. That's what I like. I like to think about a character and cry a lot. And I have a feeling that Izuku is gonna be that character, and the fact that he's a protagonist is amazing. And there you have it, folks. If you like video essays, I'll be leaving some here in the recommendations. There's one about the shift in fandom and shipping and how it's not as enjoyable as it used to be 10 years ago. There's also one that covers broad issues with media nowadays and how that reflects in queer subtext in television. Thank you so much for joining me in this journey, and I hope we keep having fun watching My Hero Academia together. I plan on posting the reactions every Sunday, so see you next week. Yay, fellow humans! If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. And please consider following me on other social media so we can build a community. I am admittedly more active on Tumblr, so I hope I see you there. Ciao!